Well, this is going to sound like a flippant question, but it's very serious. And I feel like the audience, if you've been online, if you've seen the sketches and some of the fan art that's going around, then you know this. But who is responsible for Diane's haircut? And when did it happen? Like, when were you decided, okay, we're going to change this character's hair?
I didn't decide to.
Oh, I decided to.
You and the writers.
Well, the writers, we decided. Well.
But then you told me I got to cut her hair, and I was like, yeah, finally! Because she's had the same look since I first designed her in like 2012, 2011. So I was really excited to change her look up.
We tried to give Mr. Peanut Butter a puppy cut, too. But it didn't look good.
Aww.
We couldn't do that, but we did express his anal glands. So that's new. You don't see it, but just know that the character design we went through and we did it.
I had to do it.
Yeah, you had to do that too. That's your job.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it is somewhat of a big deal because so many animated shows, when they've got characters, that have been established and they've got that look and they kind of have, they have the same outfit, they have the same haircut, they have the same glasses. Like people, have an attachment to that. So if you're going to shift, it's a big deal. It's a bit of a change. So
it's
how did you
also a
approach
big
it?
deal when the character has as long a neck as Diane does, and then when you cut the hair, it shows even more of the neck that you accidentally drew so long. And then underneath all that hair, there was a bunch of stuff we just didn't even draw, like her. Because we got, I don't know why.
Oh, I thought you drew like the internal organs first. Then you did a skeleton.
A little bit. Guys, I've always been self-conscious about the length of Diane's neck, and now it's like I'm learning that I should be.
I'm sorry. I just didn't know how to draw a neck.
It is funny to think of a cartoon character getting new glasses.
Yeah. They got to do it.
Yeah.
Their eyes change, man. Milhouse's dad every couple years. Gotta get those new glasses. They don't show that because it's not the most interesting thing happening that week in Springfield.
Sure.
But get to like season 34, they'll get to it.
They will.
Also, he used to work at a cracker factory.
That's right.
Now he works at a wafer factory.
Is that right?
Yeah, they're mixing things up.
They're changing things around?
Yeah.
If it's good enough for The Simpsons, it's good enough for us.
Does that answer your question?
That was perfect. But I mean, Lisa and Mike, like when you're in season 5 now, you've been doing this for a while. You've established a lot of what's in the series. What's exciting to you about tacking on a new season? Like when you go, Mike. You're first.
I was just thinking about my joke. What was the question?
You buzzed. You got to go with it.
I'm mostly always just thinking about my jokes.
What excites you about a new season? How do you get yourself up in the morning under season 5?
Every year, that 1% bump.
Well, whether it's like a new character, or whether it's a new look, or whether there's an episode that like you get, to particularly go all out on. What was it about season 5 that kind of, you're excited for fans to see, or that you were excited to watch?
Me and Lisa are basically, Raphael brings on all the sadness and grief, wah, wah, wah. And then me and Lisa come up with all the animal jokes.
I would be clear, I have a full staff of writers bringing the wah wah. It's not just me.
They sit in that room crying all day.
I can't take all credit.
The fish cries from the head on down.
We do enjoy every season. Like we have a wall in my office of all these Post-its of different animal jokes, and then like the storyboards turn a scene, and I'm like, this scene needs something, and then you're like,
no more giraffes. There's too many giraffe jokes.
Yeah.
Do we have any?
After season 2 or 3, I was like, guys, with these fucking giraffe jokes,
we get it.
We gotta cut this out.
Their
we get
necks
it.
are long.
Giraffes are
just
tall.
Just like Diane's neck.
So this season we made all the long neck jokes about Diane.
Yeah. Great.
Aaron, I did want to ask about Todd this year because Todd has always been a figure who's kind of good for whatever. Like he's a wacky wild card figure who gets to do a lot of crazy stuff. And it seems like in that first episode, there's a conscious note given to him that maybe Todd needs some direction. Maybe he needs to find a little bit of purpose. And I was curious about, 1, how you felt about it, and 2, I mean, is that important? Is that important for Todd?
I mean, personally, I don't think so, no. I mean, I love that he's just kind of all over the place, but it's nice to kind of put him in check a little bit, and maybe he does need a push in that direction. I mean, is he going to go directly in that direction right away? I don't think so. I think he may try, but he's going to get distracted, which I love about Todd. You know, he's just kind of, I'll go this way.
We all love Todd with BoJack, but one of my favorite aspects of the show is when Todd is teamed up with Mr. Peanut Butter. Yeah. Just like their endless stupidity and optimism.
They have such great, strange ideas that they just run with.
Yeah.
Do you remember in season 2, one of their ideas was to make a movie of Tag?
Yes.
And your accountant, who didn't like the idea, is played by Jake Johnson, who's now in the movie Tag. What? He double-crossed us!
Okay.
Along with your friend John Hamm!
It all comes back to Mad Men.
Oh my God. This is getting into some real dangerous legal territory
Let's
now.
get him, folks!
Yeah, I think some residuals
go.
might be in order, or at
Yeah, I
least
think
Tag
so.
should be on Netflix a whole lot sooner.
Jake Johnson's playing both sides.
You don't want to mess with the people behind the game Tag.
But wasn't there something else in the show that...
Yeah, there are a lot of things in the show. It's been on for 5 seasons.
I think you had more to say.
Oh, so
I had more to say.
Like,
Excuse
there
me.
something
I want to talk!
Aaron,
Wasn't there something else in the show that then happened in real life
Well,
that they stole from...
Yeah, you mean saying the wrong thing at the Oscars ceremony?
Yeah.
We did that first.
we're not especially proud of that one.
They stole that from us. That was our bit.
We don't
I'm
know.
thinking of something, and I just can't think of it.
Taxi,
Everybody
rideshare service for
silence.
ladies.
Yes, right. Shane.
Yeah,
That's
right.
the thing that's out
That
and
came
about.
from a tweet
That
I made.
that was Lisa's idea.
Yeah.
An original animated series on Netflix.
Yeah, we
They
were the
stole
first to do
from
that.
us, yeah.
And now they're giving them to everybody.
There's no way to segue to the next question, but I have to ask about Todd's asexuality because I just feel like, one, when it first came up in the show, I don't think it was part of any sort of like big cultural discussion. That's definitely emerged of late that people are recognizing it more than they were. But A, where did that come from? And B, I'm kind of curious, Aaron, if you're getting any feedback, particularly because you're voicing Todd, do people come to you and kind of talk about that? I feel like a lot of actors, when they're almost a voice of something or they're representative of something, then they have to answer for it in a way.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of curious about that discussion.
I mean, I get approached all the time from that community. I really do, and I'm really so proud to be a voice for that community. And I think this is one of, or maybe the first, asexual character on television.
Not the first, but one of the first.
But one, yeah, one of, and yeah, it's nice. I mean, it's nice to
Yeah, I think it's been really important for us to try to do right by them and speak as clearly as we can about it. And even we've gotten some great feedback of some things we've gotten wrong that we'll try to correct this season, and I'm sure we'll make more mistakes. We had an asexual woman come into our writer's room early in season 4 to talk a little about her experience, which was very helpful. We asked her, is there anything you want us to avoid or we should be aware of, like certain cliches or stereotypes that you're tired of seeing? And she said, yeah, well, one thing is that, one stereotype is that we're very childlike and naive. And I was like, oh no. I didn't know, it's too late to change that. But other than that, I think we've tried to show a really three-dimensional side of it and to have multiple asexual characters, so Todd's not the only representation on the show, and try to show it with, respectfully and not just make a punchline out of it.
Yeah, and Todd's performance this season, it's explored really wonderfully this season and handled very seriously by Todd and acted terrifically by Aaron.
Yeah.
So even like a goofy character, like he really kind of...
It's been a fun, surprising element. I mean, I didn't know this about the character when we first started, and we kind of found it in the writing of it when we were writing season 3, figuring out what we wanted to do with this character, and it kind of felt like, I think he's asexual. And we did some research on it and said, yeah, I think that's what he is. It's been a lovely thing to discover and just gives us a new layer of stuff to play with this amazing character.